What's going on, guys? We are back at Universal Studios for another Halloween Horror Nights construction update. It may have only been a week and a half, but a lot has happened since the last time we were here. We are less than 2 weeks away from the start of this year's event, and I cannot be more excited. We now know everything that we need to know about this year's events. I only have 2 hours to explore the entirety of the park and check out everything that's new, so let's not waste any time and head on inside. It is just after 9 a.m. in the morning, bright and early on a Saturday. The park has just opened up to the public. Let's head on inside, guys. Check this out, guys. A lot has happened to the truss structure since the last time we were here. Just like with what we saw last year, we have some scaffolding over here. These are going to be some stairs leading up to the top where there is a platform up here. You can see the railings up there. So just like last year, we saw Dr. Oddfellow do an opening ceremony from up here. We are probably going to have another character, whoever the icon is going to be this year, up top, welcoming guests into the event. And we can see a couple of speakers have been added to either side over here, and we have a lot of lights that have been placed underneath that are going to be doing all kinds of neat things. Oh my god, and check this out, guys. Our first ever fog machine of the season. We've seen it. We know it's coming. I cannot wait to smell that fog. And of course, no surprises here. We have another fog machine on the opposite side. Now, on any other occasion, I would walk inside the park and give you guys a lowdown of the current wait times, but number one, the park just opened, and number two, the wait time board doesn't seem to be working right now, so we're gonna go ahead and move on. I tell you guys what, I need to start waking myself up early and coming to the parks more often because the temperature is perfect right now. Yeah, it's humid and I am sweating a little bit, but it is not oppressively hot like it normally is in the afternoon when I typically come to the parks, so just living an hour and a half away in Tampa is not the most ideal thing for waking up super early in the morning, because in order to get here now, I woke up at like, what, 6:30? I was out of the house at 7? But the temperature is really nice. But we are making our way past Minions Land right now. You can see freeze ray pops, but we have something new over here in the, I never know the name of this stage, the Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket stage. We have something new over here. Check this out, guys. We have our first Halloween Horror Nights food booth sighting, and it's themed for Insidious. We do know that Halloween Horror Nights is going to have a haunted house themed around Insidious. It's called Into the Further this year. And check this out. We have the classic red door over here with some claw marks on it. Oh man, this is gonna be interesting. I love how themed these booths are becoming every year. They get more and more themed, more and more elaborate. It's gonna be amazing, and it won't be long now before we start seeing the menus. Moving on down a little bit further, we have a couple more food booths that have popped up. Twilight Tavern. Can someone in the comment section let me know what this is referring to? Because nothing immediately comes to mind when I see Twilight Tavern. I mean, for all I know, this could tie into one of the original haunted houses that we have this year. I have no idea, but still, really interesting, really intricately themed. We have some vines going up and around over here as well. A couple of menu boards. I cannot wait to see what is placed over here. And we have another booth over here called Twisted Tater and Tots Live is crossed out. So this is obviously where we're gonna find our Twisted Taters. You can see some blood splatters over here as well. If we look at a little bit closer, this is really interesting. And down here, we have a little doghouse, and you can see some red eyes. So at night, those eyes are going to illuminate to look like something sinister is hiding in the shadows. Good morning, hashtag, how are you? It's gonna be a great day. Have a good one, man. Oh my gosh, guys, check this out. I know it's very backlit right now, but remember a couple weeks ago, or like a week and a half ago, when there was like no theming on the stage at all? Well, take a look at that. We have theming on the Torture Fair stage. We have a body that's hanging over here. It is covered in burlap right now, but we do know that for the event, it will be uncovered. There you go, that's a better look at it. It is inside a little barrel? It's a bucket. That's the word I was looking for. It's in a bucket. It will be uncovered. And take a look at that. Let's see if I can get this just right. Let me adjust the exposure here. There you go. Look at that. Torture Fair. Ye old Torture Fair, to be more specific. And take a look at this. These are two faces that I have never seen before. I have no idea what this is all referring to. I'd love to know a lot more about what is happening here. But this is so cool. You can see it has gotten its wood theming. All the metal has been covered up with a wood what is that, fabric? It's not really fabric, it's more like a tarp. Anyways, it went from steel to wood and it looks really good. We also have an Iron Maiden over here. We are 99% sure that this is going to open up as well during the event to reveal a gruesome body inside. And we can also see we have a new little mini platform on the stage set up over here as well with some real wood. This is gonna be awesome. I can't wait to see what they do on this stage for the event. And take a look at that, guys. We have a couple of fog machines hiding right behind the stage. Now, by no means do I think that this is gonna be their final location. I think that this is just them staging it for right now, but still really exciting to see. I can't believe I almost walked right by these guys as I was heading through the New York section of the park. We have 2 additional food booths over here, and very clearly, these are themed around Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. We have Ivan's NYC Deli and Grocery, family-owned since 1984. We can see some icicles down here. That is so cool. And right next door, to me, this looks like it might be the firehouse. It definitely looks like the firehouse. Is giving firehouse vibes, but we can see a lot more icicles over here. And they just did such a phenomenal job with not only creating the base set itself, but with making it look like it's frozen with ice and frost all around it. I can't wait to see what they serve here. Now, as we all know, Halloween Horror Nights is starting fairly early this year in August, and it can get very hot. So my hope is that for one of these 2 booths, they actually serve some like specialty frozen items. Maybe some specialty frozen drinks, maybe some specialty frozen ice cream, a Slimer ice cream. That'd be really cool to see. I don't know, it's just some wishful thinking. Some of you eagle-eyed fans out there may also recognize this location from the reveal trailer for Ghostbusters Frozen Empire Haunted House. They filmed it right here on these steps. It doesn't look like anything else too much new has been added on the rooftops. We have a lot more lights that have possibly gone up, especially over here. Look at the amount of lights that are on that little structure right there. Holy cow. We of course still have our lights all strung up from one end of the street to the other. This whole area is gonna look awesome at night. Over here at Sahara Traders, we have been getting some teases to what the theme of this year's Halloween Horror Nights tribute store is gonna be. Let's go ahead on inside and check it out. And check this out over here, guys. The newest collection, Wonders of the Ancient Garden at the Museum of Antiquities. We can see a little bat vampire type thing over here. We have a fan, we have a couple of relics, we have a hat. We have a couple of newspaper clippings over here. Museum shipments of new exhibits met with protesters. We can also see the Tribute Tribune. Let's see, upcoming exhibit sparks controversy. Wonders of the Ancient Garden, an unnatural artifact with mysterious origin. Down here, we can see a crate shipped to Museum of Antiquities from Cary, Ohio. A lot of you Halloween Horror Nights fans know that Cary, Ohio is like the root of all Halloween Horror Nights lore. Fathom Corp, this name doesn't ring any bells. Let's see, Wonders of the Ancient Garden over here. Yeah, over the course of like the last week or so, we have gotten new details added to this whole set over here, teasing the theme of this year's Halloween Horror Nights tribute store. So I cannot wait to see what they do with all this. I love that Universal does stuff like this. This is a fun one over here. Central Park continues to be overrun by weeds and other non-native plant life. This is definitely a nod to the scare zone that is going in Central Park right now, which is Swamp of the Undead. So all of this is connected in some way. And we are almost 99% sure that this year's Halloween Horror Night tribute store is gonna be back in its original location over here in the Macy's, which uses the extended queue for Revenge the Mummy. 99% of the year, this extended queue is not outside. They only bring the extended queue out here is because they can no longer use the extended queue inside over there, which always houses the Halloween Horror Nights tribute store. So all signs are pointing to its location being right over here, and I cannot wait to show off more when it opens. Looks like a new booth has been added in the New York section of the park, right in the middle of the street, and it is called Ye Olde Torture Goods. I know this was all exposed and opened up a couple of days ago when it was first placed in, but they have since put some tarps over it. My guess is that there may be something a little bit gruesome inside that they don't want regular day guests to see, that it will be exposed once the event actually starts. You can see on the inside, it doesn't look like they've added anything quite yet, but still very cool to see. Since the last time we were here, Sting Alley has reopened, which is really cool to see. Now, the last time I was here, I mentioned that we are possibly going to be getting a food booth over here, a nice themed food booth, which is what we've seen in years past. And I was at first confused by these lights because these red lights do not match the lights that are out on the street over here. You can see these are all red and yellow lights. These are solid red. And after doing a little bit of research, it seems to me like these lights match up to A Quiet Place. If you guys remember in that movie on the farm that the family stays at, they do have red lights set up to illuminate in case of emergencies. And these are all solid lights. So if we do get a food booth in this location, I suspect it's gonna be themed around A Quiet Place. Ooh, and check this out, guys. Outside of Fast and Furious Supercharged, in between the two buildings over here, we can see some theming for the Sweet Revenge haunted house that is gonna be going right over here. Check that out. The last time we were here, there were just a couple of lone truss structures, and now we can see a couple of, what are those? Smokestacks, maybe? I can imagine those might be smokestacks. That would be really cool if they were, but it does look to me like we are probably gonna get an actual facade for this haunted house, which is actually something quite different from what we've had in years past. The last couple of years that we've had a haunted house in this location, it never really had a true facade, and the house started inside the interior queue for Fast and Furious. So I wonder if we're gonna be starting off outside, and that's gonna be something that we see as soon as we walk inside the haunted house. I'm very happy to see them attempting to plus up this house location, because historically the houses that I've gone here haven't been the best, so I'm hoping that this year will be different. All right, guys, time to head on into our next scare zone, which has finally been confirmed to be Enter the Blumhouse. We have our Blumhouse logos over here with our little stages and platforms set up. We have some speakers that have been added to either side of the Blumhouse logo, and I believe we have some foot triggers. Yep, we have some foot triggers hidden right over here. So we are definitely 100% going to have some performers on either side of these stages over here, which is really cool to see. A little bit more theming has been added to these structures over here. We even have the black phone. Now, I don't think you're going to be able to pick it up because the cord has been, secured to the wall over here, so I'm not going to touch it any further. But, I posted this on Twitter. As soon as I saw this, I have a strong feeling that guests are gonna be dumb and they're gonna break it, and we're gonna lose it. So hopefully I'm wrong. I'm hoping that I'm wrong. Hopefully Universal, secured everything nice and properly. I'm sure they did, but it's still really cool to see. Over here, another fog machine has been added. We have a proper look at the Blumhouse logo on top, the main structure looking like an actual house. That's really cool to see. A lot more lights and speakers have been added as well. Now, oddly enough, a couple days ago, we actually had a couple of barrels out here. We had a series of black barrels that were spray painted in different colors. Those have since been removed, which is very weird to see. We had some barrels over here. We had another set of barrels down there. But another detail over here is a blue wreath hung up by those who actually support the purge. And we have another fog machine right here in the corner. Now, here's a little bit of speculation on my part. Last year for Halloween Horror Nights, one of the most popular things to see was the Megan's Horde. Now, typically, they have cars out here in this area for the exit of Fast and Furious Supercharged. Those cars have since been removed. I feel like this would be the perfect location to have a set scheduled Megan's show where they would come out and dance and do their thing. I really hope that that comes to fruition this year. That'd be really cool because you never really know when the Megans came out and you never knew exactly where they would come out. So having them in a set area over here with proper lighting and speakers and everything, I feel like would be absolutely perfect. Ooh, I almost missed this little detail over here. We have a set of lockers that have been placed, and we have, what is that? A squirrel, a beaver head over here. This is for the Blumhouse movie Freaky. It's like a twisted play on Freaky Friday. I actually highly recommend you watch that movie. It's actually quite good. Moving across the way from the London waterfront, heading towards Simpsons Land, we have another themed food booth over here. And this one almost looks like a castle. You can see, let me actually zoom in, up the exposure a little bit because it is all backlit. Let me get out of the sun, actually. The sun is not helping. There you go. Take a look at that. We have a castle entrance over here with gates. We have some lanterns on top as well on the turrets. This is really interesting. So either this is going to tie into the Goblin Feast haunted house, or this is going to tie in to the Universal Monsters haunted house. Not entirely sure, but either way, very well themed, very well done. You can see all the vines all around it. It's going to be incredible. Now, this is something really random. Typically, we would have a couple of truss structures over here indicating the entrance to a haunted house. More specifically, last year, we had a lone truss structure over here indicating the entrance to what was it, The Last of Us last year. But we don't have anything quite yet. Possibly soon we're gonna get something, but over here, we have a brand new truss structure. We have never seen a truss in this location before. and I have no idea what it's for, but this is super interesting, and I'm very curious to see what they do with it, because yeah, take a look at this. It's a little rectangular structure just placed here. I'm so excited to see what they do with this. Whew. So this is how you know I've been losing weight. These seats over here on the side next to the water in the Simpsons Land area, they don't move, like you can't move them back. And before, when I would sit down, I would really struggle with my gut, you know, and now I got plenty of wiggle room and I can relax. But anyways, it's time for a water break. Remember what I said earlier about the heat not being that bad? Well, we're about 45 minutes later and I lied. I've been proven wrong. It is hot outside right now. But while I'm here and taking my break, now is a great time to tell you guys that if you're looking to plan the perfect Universal Studios vacation, my friends over at MC Travel can help you guys out. Click the link in the description below or scan the QR code over here to get your vacation planning started. We are officially partnered with them, so when you book with them, you're also directly supporting my channel as well. Also, while you're down there checking out MC Travel, go ahead and leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It greatly helps us out and I would greatly appreciate it. Okay, break time's over. Let's go. By the way, this area back here along the lagoon on the other side of Lard Lad's Donuts in Simpsons Land, the perfect place to hang out and to get away from the crowds, because even on the busiest of days, 99% of the time, this area is going to be mostly empty and not have a lot of people out here, so you can unwind, recharge, and take a break from all the crowds. All right, guys, let's head into my most anticipated zone now, Swamp of the Undead. And as you guys can see, a lot more theming and a lot more details have been added. I can't remember if all of this in particular was here the last time I was at the park, but it's still really cool. They've added a lot more foliage, a lot more dead branches. They've covered things up a little bit. We got a bit more moss over here as well. The theming is coming together very, very well. On the opposite side, we have a lot more little knickknacks and things. This entire set piece over here is brand new. We got a couple of barrels. We have a chair. We have a couple of pieces of, I'm bad with words. The word escaped me. You guys know what that is. It's on the side of a window. You can see under this broken dock over here, they've added a lot more vegetation to make it blend in. They've even added a tire over here, which is something typical that you see on docks. And something that I'd also like to point out, along with the fish nets, we have some gators over here. We have one on that side, we have one on the opposite side, and we have some camo tarps. Now, typically when you see camo tarps, that means that they are covering something gruesome. More than likely, there is a body under here that they are trying to keep hidden from day guests. When the event starts, they're going to uncover this and we're going to be able to see something really cool. Another busted up boat has been added over here. We have a couple more lights that have been placed on the truss structures, and you can see we have some camo stretching across the electrical lines over here as well, going across the entire zone. So that's really cool to see. It looks like we have a couple of lily pads that have been added to the glass over here to simulate water. Some more detailing has been added to this elevated shed structure. You can see a busted up screen door. We have a rocking chair over there. A couple of bottles and jars have been added. Some more foliage. We have some vines, and they added some plant life underneath as well. A little bit further on into the zone, we have another pier over here that has been covered up in a lot of foliage and vegetation underneath to help it blend in. We have another tire that has been placed. We have a bunch of other little knickknacks that have been placed on top of the pier as well, including a brand new friend. Take a look at this guy. We have a little turtle. We have a little turtle over here. He's my favorite. We have to think of a name for him. What do you guys think we should name him? I'm leaning towards Terry. Terry the Turtle. 99% sure that's what Coda would name him. I'm never gonna stop saying it. I love how much detail and effort Universal puts into the zone over here in Central Park, and for most of their other zones for that matter, but it always seems like the Central Park area gets the most theming. Oh my goodness, guys, check this out. I turned around, I didn't even notice this. I was looking at the pier and details over here. We have a freaking airboat that has crashed over here. What in the world? This is insane. Again, details. Last year they had a giant crashed plane over here, and now we have a freaking airboat, and they have surrounded it with a bunch of foliage, and again, blends in seamlessly. I cannot wait to see how all of this looks at night. It is going to be fantastic. Just a bunch of gross looking zombies running around. It's gonna be incredible. This is something I also want to point out too. I can't remember the last time we've had more ground level lighting over here in this zone. Typically we have the lights on top, which are still there, but we have some more ground level lighting. I'm very curious to see how these are utilized in the zone mixed with the fog and everything. We have our third and final pier over here at the end of the zone, and take a look at that. We have a feathered friend. What should this guy's name be? Leave it down in the comment section below. What would you name this little guy? Some more foliage has been added, some more lily pads. We have a trap of some kind over here. I don't know exactly for what animal this is for, but I have seen it used. I know it's for fishing of some kind. Yeah, again, lots more details have been added to just flesh out this zone. And very typical for Halloween Horror Nights, we have another food booth that has been added in over here to the side of Cafe La Bamba. This is called El Mercado de los Monstruos. So obviously this is gonna tie into the Monstros haunted house that we are getting at this year's event. We can see some hanging meat over here as well as some pig's heads, which is lovely to see as always. I can't wait to see what they serve here. Hopefully some good meat dishes. You can see they themed it all along the side over here, and we have some candles on top that hopefully are gonna be illuminated during the event. Heading on into our last and final scares zone for this year's Halloween Horror Nights event in the Hollywood section of the park. This is gonna be Demon Queens. As you can see, there's not a whole lot going on in this zone. We have a couple of new lights that have been added over here. The truss structures that we saw last time are still here. We do have a fog machine placed down here that is new, but other than that, no other theming, no other details have been placed in this area yet, which is very weird to see. I'm very curious to see what they do with this zone exactly. I'm hoping to see more details and stuff added relatively soon, because as of right now, this zone and the one up front over there is our most unknowns for this year. And check this out, guys. As we make our way out, everybody and their grandmothers is heading on in. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, our quick 2-hour visit to Universal Studios has come to an end. Again, Halloween Horror Nights right around the corner. We are gonna be back here next week to do another update and to give you guys our ultimate guide to this year's Halloween Horror Nights event. So make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel to check all of that out, because we're gonna be filling you in on everything that you need to know about Halloween Horror Nights 2024. I want to thank you all so much for watching today's quick update video. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and of course subscribe if you are new around here and you want to see more content like this in the future. We are on the road to 100,000 subscribers, and I would love to have you guys be a part of that journey. I hope you are all having a wonderful day, morning, afternoon, evening, and I'll see you guys in the next video.